Are you surprised that in the lead up to this fight that he hasn't been more vocal? I mean, this is Colby Covington. He's almost been respectful of you. Is that shocking to you at all that he hasn't gone into more like he normally does?
I'm just really excited that Black Lives Matter.
He's the only one that's racist, and the only race there is in this fight is the race to get him out of the UFC.
Yo, what's good guys? Welcome to the MMA bar. My name is Kasim.
My name is Joffre, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Woodley against Covington.
This is a crazy fight, It has been a long time coming in. They were friends at first, but let's analyze the reach advantage and the attributes of the fighters. So Tyron Woodley has 2-inch reach advantage over Colby Covington, but their height?
Yeah, Covington is bigger. He's taller. But here, Woodley has a reach advantage. But personally, I don't think that it's going to be too difficult for for Covington to deal with reach advantage of Woodley.
I think it's because Woodley has never used his reach into his advantage, especially in his last 2 or 3 fights.
Yeah, especially when you see him fighting against Burns. Burns is way smaller than him. Burns is actually lightweight. We just checked today. We just checked the fight the other day, and you can see that even against Usman, Woodley wasn't using his reach. He was only using the overhand right hand. But yeah, he wasn't really, as you're saying, taking advantage of his attributes.
Exactly. And when you look at Colby Covington, in his last 3 fights, even though he lost his last fight, he looked phenomenal.
Exactly, yeah.
He was very good in pressing. He was pressing his opponents down, Robbie Lawler and also Rafael dos Anjos. You saw he just dominated the fight.
Exactly. He was giving them a real trouble, especially Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler is known as to be a vicious fighter, but when you look at his fight against Colby Covington was putting his pace on him, this tremendous pressure. It was really it was too difficult for Lawler to deal with actually, and he did the same thing to Usman. Usman, of course, beat him. He knocked him out in the 5th round, but the fight was 2-2, so it was a really
very
amazing.
close.
It was a close fight, but Colby Covington did an amazing job, and I think that he's going to do even a greater job against Woodley.
So you believe that Tyron Woodley will lose against?
Yeah, I believe he will lose, and I even predict the fight to be like when Usman beat Woodley. The way he was beating him, he was using his wrestling. I honestly believe that Covington is going to surprise us with his wrestling. We all know he has great wrestling, but in that fight, I believe he will dominate in clinch, in the wrestling game, and in the striking game. He has too many weapons in his pockets. Let me say he has too many attributes. He has too many possibilities, and Woodley only has a couple of them. He has his takedown defense and his overhand.
I disagree, man. Because if you look at Tyron Woodley, Tyron Woodley is an overall great fighter. He has a lot of attributes. He's a great wrestler. He has a black belt in jiu-jitsu. His stand-up is not bad. He has vicious leg kicks, but we have never seen him use that into his advantage. So in the early days, he used it. So that's why he became the champ. He was explosive. He used it into his own advantage, even against Wonderboy Thompson. The first round, he took him down. He gave him beating, and then he did it step by step. But in his last fight, you saw Tyron Woodley. He's not using anything but his right hand. He's going backwards and throwing his right hand.
That's why I truly believe that he will use his wrestling and take Woodley down. I believe so. Not for long, but he will take him down.
And not the other way around.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm not saying Woodley is a bad wrestler. He's a great wrestler. He's a great
But
grappler.
will he use that? What do you think? Could that be his potential game plan to against Colby Covington?
It would be smart of him to use it. He's an All-American, like you said. He's an All-American, so it would be really smart of him to use it. But will he use it, and will he be able to use it? Because there is something else that plays along in Woodley's capability of wrestling. It's the pressure that Covington puts. Covington is not a swinger. He's not going to be throwing those haymakers. He's just going to punch, volume. He's not going to destroy his entire body in trying to knock you out. So I don't think that he will counter wrestle. He will try to take him down. He will probably be counter punching, but not counter wrestling him. So he will not slip the right hand and go for a shoot, double leg or single leg. So yeah, back to what I was saying. Covington is going to win, and I don't really believe that Woodley's wrestling is going to be too big of a problem for Covington.
Okay. And concerning the trash talk, we hear a lot about Covington. Covington is talking a lot, but recently he's been too quiet. So, and that concerns me as someone who watched him trash talk about everyone, especially against Tyron Woodley.
Mm-hmm.
But now that the fight approaches, we don't hear him. He's quiet.
Yeah, well, I don't know him, so I cannot say why he's not trash talking. What I do know is that maybe he's how do you say this? Maybe he's not forced to trash talk anymore, because he's trash talking, him calling Brazilians filthy animals, and him saying making America great again is what saved his career. But everybody knows it's just for the show. It's just what saved his career. He even said in the interview, it's just show. It's not really him. Mm-hmm. So all that trash talking is just a show to me. So okay, I'm not agreeing with what he's saying. I'm not saying anything about it. But I just think that with all the COVID stuff and no press conferences, he's talking less because he has less opportunity to talk trash.
Okay, so it's not because he already trained with Tyron Woodley, and maybe
Probably.
he knows how it feels to fight against him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he's quiet.
No,
You don't think so?
Yeah, I do think so. I think he has legit respect for Woodley. That for sure. That's for sure.
All right.
But what about what do you think about Woodley training with Masvidal?
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up as well.
Mm-hmm.
But what I think is maybe he could like take the energy of Masvidal, because Masvidal, he just wants to fight. That's all he wants to do. And Tyron Woodley recently he hasn't been that motivated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if he could like maybe take a bit of that energy from Masvidal, it could help him.
Yes, exactly.
But I believe that Tyron Woodley, he needs more wrestlers. He needs Kamaru Usman in his training camp to be able to fight against Colby Covington.
Mm-hmm.
Because Masvidal is a stand-up fighter. He's a great fighter, but I mean that is not enough to be prepared for Colby Covington.
Mm-hmm. But like you said, behind the scenes, they don't always show all of the training partners. So I think that Woodley is smart enough. He's a veteran of the game. He used to be UFC world champion. So I think that he's smart enough to find decent opponents, and it's going to be very interesting. But like you said, if he's going to take a little bit of energy off Masvidal, then we're going to see the old Woodley. Then it's going to be a real tough fight for Covington.
But he looked very composed.
What do you mean by that?
He looked very calm, very
okay.
composed, very motivated, Tyron Woodley. And I hope, because I do not hate the guy, he's not my favorite fighter, but I mean, seeing him losing in that way, three ways in a row, it would be very painful.
Objectively, if I'm going to look objectively, Colby Covington has the higher chance of winning. But if I'm going to look subjectively and purely based on MMA fan, being an MMA fan, I would vote for Woodley because I just like the guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. So I think we both think that Colby Covington will be the winner of this bout.
Mm-hmm.
We already give you the insights of why it would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel.
Yes, for sure. If you want more content, this is the place to be, especially if you're into MMA.
Exactly. So guys, we'll see you around.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye.